Ho, ho, ho. Before the shots, the injuries, and the Christmas slate, let's set the tone. This is Bets and Regrets, and today we're breaking down NFL Week 17 against the spread with Christmas games on the board. Some of the lines feel way too easy, which usually means we're about to pay for last week before we even open the presents. If you're tailing any of these picks, hit follow on Spotify and save this episode so you don't forget the card. All right, let's get into it. I'm Brogan.
I'm Sean.
And I'm jolly old St. Nicholas.
And before we talk about this Christmas slate, we've got some shots to take. And by we, I mean Brogan. I went 1-5 this last week. And not only did I go 1-5, but I also had the one pick that lost the parlay of the week. Which means I am due for 6 shots this week. Let's go over them, shall we? First one on Thursday night, Rashid Shaheed for the Seattle Seahawks, over 37.5 receiving yards. Does anybody know how many he had?
He had a single target.
Yep. How many receptions?
0.
And it's tough to get receiving yards if you don't have any receptions. So that one lost. So then we moved on to Saturday, and Montana State, FCS, they're going to the national championship game. But unfortunately, I included Texas A&M money line in that as well. Texas A&M, I believe, only mustered 3 points at home.
Yeah.
And Miami went in there. Abella Danger was in the crowd. And, yeah, I mean, like she used to get it, Miami gave it to Texas A&M. I mean, not really, because it was only like 10-3. But, yeah, so that lost. And then moving on to Sunday, Trey McBride, anytime touchdown. You know, honestly, I kind of picked this one as, I was facing Trey McBride in the fantasy semifinals this week. I thought, if McBride's going to stunt on me, I might as well get some out of that too. McBride didn't do anything this week. It was one of his worst weeks of the season, so that didn't hit. The Buccaneers refuse to win a football game. Absolutely refuse. Before this, the stats department, before this podcast, stats department got to me, and they said that I've backed the Buccaneers the last 4 weeks. Not just me. The Buccaneers are 0-3-1 against the spread in those 4 weeks.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that didn't work out. And then Denver, -3 at home against the Jags. No, the Jags are going to go in there and win by 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, that's rough. My one win was the Bears, -1.5, which some would say shouldn't even be a win. Packers should have won that game. And I was real close to being 0-6 and having 7 shots, but thank God Romeo Doubs can't handle an onside kick.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't think about that.
yeah, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this jolly episode, we were recording early, so we're recording this on Monday night, because we have Christmas coming up on Thursday night, and we want to get this pod out in plenty of time for all the Christmas games. But where I'm going with that is I'm already traveling for the Christmas holiday. And in the liquor cabinet that I found, I have found an old bottle of Admiral Nelson's Cherry. So I am going to be one with the Admiral this pod and try and finish off this Cherry Admiral Nelson's that looks like it's might be older than me. So I'm going to get started. I'm probably going to need a while to choke these down. Yeah.
You're going to need
Goodbye.
it to steer the ship. Yeah, have fun with that. I can go next because I got the second most here.
Sure.
So I went 3-3. Nothing real crazy to report here again. Pretty par for the course. Just riding that steady wave of mediocrity at 500. But I've been on the other side of that far too often, and I'm very content with back-to-back 3-3 weeks after the tough stretch that I had. So it'll be all right. But I got 3 shots to do. Started off very par for the course, like I said, going 1-1 in my locks on Thursday. Kyron Williams, a one that I did hit on Thursday, over 13.5 rushing attempts. That got home for me in the first half, and then he finished with 20-something carries, but only averaged about 3 yards per rush. We'll be breaking that game down soon. The next one was not so great with the alt under of 43.5 for the points total. Before the Rams Seahawks Thursday night game. And it was total was at 20 at halftime, and I loved that. Even with a little bit with the star power, with the firepower that was going on, the wheels came off in the third and fourth quarter, though. Much like I predicted last week, it did go to overtime, where 15 total points were scored, and bringing the grand total of that game to 75 points. So not even within a touchdown or two. So that one hurts. The next one I had, Oklahoma on Friday night at -1.5 at home against Alabama. And that was for the first round of the college football playoff. Now, I was traveling to Michigan for the majority of this game, so doing some family Christmas whatnots. But I could only keep tabs on my phone for the majority of the game, and I was keeping tabs, I would say, aggressively hard on it, just kind of essentially streaming it from my phone. But Oklahoma went up early, 17-0, and at one point, it was looking like they were just in complete control. Then Alabama starts coming back. They get a score, followed by a field goal, and then Mateer threw a pick six. So one thing led to another, and then Alabama quickly came back in that second quarter, and then it's 17-all. So that was unfortunate, and didn't really look back in the second half. Alabama made the right adjustments. I mean, kudos to them. They figured out Oklahoma, and that defensive line made Mateer look super uncomfortable all night, and they were just able to do whatever they wanted. And that was a huge reason why the Alabama got the upset win. Moving right along, the next one, another loss of mine, was a college football playoff game with Texas A&M hosting Miami at home on Saturday. Like Brogan was talking about, the game was ugly, and I'm not going to try to spend too much time on it, but the U was held to 69 yards of total offense in that first half. It was 0-0 first college football playoff game that was no score of any kind in the first half. So that was interesting. No kicker wanted to make anything. Texas A&M gifted them the victory with a muffed punt, quarterback fumble, and a blocked field goal. And just too many first half blunders to overcome. And Miami ultimately got the victory 10-3. But fortunately, moving on to the Sunday slate, Kai Fairbairn does his thing and kicks field goals. And he hit two of them before the first half, so that wasn't a sweat. And then my leg of the parlay was Bengals -3.5 on the road against Miami against the Dolphins. And Burrow showed out and threw for 4 touchdowns. Quinn Ewers was there. Ultimately, it's more about Joe Burrow and the Bengals just lighting up the Dolphins defense more than anything. So I got 3 shots. I got Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine. I'm hoping I can make it to the end of the playoffs with this bottle, but we'll see. So 3 shots, bottoms up. On to you, Nick.
All right. For my locks, I went 4-2. Jordan Love 2+ passing touchdowns is really biting me in the ass. Jordan Love obviously went out with a concussion. I'll talk more about that game later. But, he went out with a concussion in it was the first half, but was it the first quarter or second quarter that he went out?
Second quarter.
Second quarter? Okay. So earlier on the second quarter, he went out. It was a competitive game, went out. Malik Willis came in and did well. Next one was crying Caleb Williams over 17.5 rushing yards. Sean kind of planted this one in my head last week. He talked about it, and it only made more and more sense to me the more I thought about it. So I
bet it. I just didn't lock it up.
Okay.
Stupidly.
Yeah, that was very silly of you. It just made too much sense not to do that. And so, yeah, that 17.5 rushing yards was pretty fucking easy. The Josh Allen anytime just didn't happen. Josh Allen really didn't play that fucking great. Here's his stat line. 12 of 19, which isn't bad, with 130 yards of passing. No touchdowns, no picks. Dog. And then he had 7 carries for 17 yards. Josh Allen looked superhuman. He looked very human. Let me clean up my words here. He looked very human in that game, unfortunately. So he didn't get that anytime. Cam Ward went to fucking Kansas City and kind of laid the smackdown on the Chiefs. I think this is his best game that he's had all year, or one of his best games. 21 of 28, 228 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, with a quarterback rating of or a passer rating. We'll do passer rating of 122.3, which is pretty fucking good. The Chiefs just, I mean, Minshew blew up his ACL that game, and then I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce.
It was not his ACL, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yes, he's on
I'm only
season IR, but no surgery needed.
Rappaport said that it's like a very bad bone. Sorry, it's a very bad bone bruise. Yeah, it's not an ACL.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can take it from here, broken. Not an ACL. It was a bone bruise. There was initial fears that it was gonna be a torn ACL.
All right, I had some water. I'm better now.
Okay,
I'm back.
So yeah, that 170 passing yard line for Cam Ward was pretty easily met. The next one was Bengals spread, which Sean actually threw that in the parlay of the week. The Bengals blew that game open in the second half. Like, they just scored touchdown. I remember I flipped over to a couple other games, watched them for a little bit, and I came back. Like, the Bengals were up by a touchdown, then I came back, and all of a sudden the Bengals were up by, like, fucking, like, 3 possessions or some shit like that, like, out of nowhere. And I was just confused. I missed all of that. All I know was Joe Burrow and Chase Brown did some fucking work in that time.
Chase Brown had like 3 thuds.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Especially after just being like fucking shut out the week before, like that's crazy.
Any given Sunday, dude.
Yeah,
this league's awesome.
And then the Saints game, Saints Jets. Tyler Shuck, he's very solid. Here's his line from last game. 32 of 49 with 308 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, with a rating of 89.5.
I thought the Saints were going to be a lot worse this season, and I thought that after getting rid of Rattler, I thought Shuck was going to be even worse, but clearly they found something in Shuck. So,
well, I mean, if we're going off of pure rating, there's actually another New Orleans quarterback that had a much better rating than Shuck did.
This Brees a couple of years ago?
Nope. This quarterback actually had a perfect passer rating last game with a 158.3. One attempt, 1 completion for 38 yards, and 1 touchdown. Sean, who do you think that would be?
Would it be your boy Rattler?
That would be Taysom fucking Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Taysom Hill threw a 38-yard bomb, got a ton. But yeah, so Shuck, I mean, I was a Rattler defender, but obviously Shuck has some fucking magic to him. So good for the Saints on seeing that and trying to make it work. So yeah, once again, to wrap it up, I went 4-2. Does anybody? I guess we'll talk about this later, but yeah, I'll take 2 shots. I'll be drinking my vodka and I'll be washing her down. Actually, with some Monster, some white Monster, because
you're treating yourself tonight,
dude. We're going to Argartha, baby. Let's go.
I don't have to tell me twice.
Whew, yeah, I went to fucking someplace with that Admiral Nelson. I mean, that thing might be battling me this entire pod.
Don't let the Admiral win, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't let the Admiral win.
He almost did there when I was explaining
don't let them
that
tell
Minshew
you where
did
to
not.
steer the ship.
But yeah, it sucks for Minshew, I guess. Like, does he even have a job next year? Do you think that's kind of the end of his career?
This season, I think he'll bounce back somewhere. I guess I don't know the age of him. He's got to be in his like 30s at this point, but I think he'll bounce around still. Like he's
only 29 actually. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's pretty young. Yeah, I mean, like if Mike
I thought he was like 35.
If Mike Glennon could bounce around the league, I'm sure Minshew can bounce around the league for a while.
He is.
So
I do love Minshew just because I think he's the last like disciple of Mike Leach's quarterback. Nice pull there, I know.
That is a great pull
on the back.
Well, yeah. Why don't we head out west where Mike Leach spent a lot of time? Washington State, right? Back in the day.
That go Cougs.
Game out in Washington. Seahawks and Rams. What a game! Game lived up to the hype. Sometimes, especially Thursday night games you think are going to be great, maybe don't turn out to be, but That game was great. The Rams had that thing kind of
Oh my God, you want to talk
in the
about
bag.
collapses? I mean, this week it was just collapse after collapse. I don't know what happened.
Stafford throws for over 450, I think.
Yeah, pretty much
Uh,
solidifies that MVP. Well, but Drake won, I
right.
guess.
Nakua went for 225 and 2, and
God, I
the
wasn't
Rams
playing him
still
this week.
end up losing. That 2-point conversion was wild. That Seattle needed to tie it up.
It was
Where
just
it's
a
a
good. It was a good play. Just good execution all around. Like they just schemed them open.
see, I have a problem with a play like that. If it's clear and obvious that that ball's backwards and like they play it out and he picks it up,
Oh, you're
I
talking about
get
that?
it.
Yeah.
But when I think there were whistles blown, everybody thought it was a forward pass, and then we're gonna review it and say that it's 6 inches backwards, like, and it bounces forward off a guy's helmet. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being salty here, but I don't really love how you can just like nonchalantly pick up a ball in the end zone and then it's a successful 2-point try.
I think there was some urgency with it, but or was it? I've seen a couple of them this week. Was he just kind of like going over to it, no
Yeah,
whistles, or didn't look
nobody
like?
else
Yeah.
was even trying for it. It was just.
I was gonna say
What-
the amount
yeah.
of
Did you
games
just
that are
palm
just
it?
blurred at this point in the week.
Yeah, he just palmed it, and then like I'm pretty sure there was a whistle. So because like it was a fucking incomplete pass, it was a swing pass. So, anyways, I mean it is what it is. And I mean yeah, the Rams just kind of bottled it at the end. Seahawks get a big win at home. And yeah, how about the Seahawks going for 2 there at home to get the win?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, it was a great play call, great scheme. I mean, anytime that you're able to just get a guy open like that wide, where he can any of us probably could have made that pass.
I don't know if Rogan could have, but
Probably not.
Yeah,
Next one on Saturday we had Eagles Commanders. Sad to see the Duck go out in this one and get backfilled by Josh Johnson, I believe is his name. But yeah, I mean, Eagles were kind of just in. Well, I mean, Commanders were actually up at halftime, I think, of this game, and then Eagles came back in the second half. Second half was all Eagles, especially with Mariota getting hurt. Yeah, anything else? I mean, I don't know. That game really didn't stand out too much.
no, I was more worried about the game that followed it.
Yeah. So then Saturday night, I mean, probably one of, if not, I mean, most talked about games, maybe some consider it best games of the NFL season. Packers Bears, and we were talking about collapses with the Rams. I don't even know if it's a collapse for the Packers. Like, yeah, I guess it's a collapse,
I mean,
but
do we expect it? Yes, but I mean, up 10 with fucking 5 minutes left. You think the game should be well under wraps. I mean, and we didn't necessarily do anything dumb offensively to give. It's not like we were like chucked it on third and whatever instead of letting the clock run or whatever. But yeah, I mean, just at the end of the day, guys couldn't execute. Like they didn't do their jobs. They didn't. When we called the engage 8 to send it out, there was miscommunication in the secondary, and we let a guy just waltz it, just catch a ball, no one within 5-10 yards of him, and then that wasn't even. I mean, it could have even all been avoided before that if Dobbs. Now, granted, that was a wonky bounce, which you happen to never see unless you are a Packer fan. But it did have some wicked spin on it, I thought. But again, if you should be our most sure-handed receiver. Otherwise, we could have got Bo Melton in there if we were going to try to give him the ball back. Like, what are we doing?
yeah, I don't know why. I watch any other NFL game and there's an onside kick. Like, it's like, don't even have to worry about the other team, the kicking team recovering it. Like, never even crosses my mind.
Yep.
But as a Packer fan, watching teams do onside kicks against us,
oh my god,
I almost feel like they're going to recover it.
yeah.
Again,
it's a
it
complete
feels like
opposite.
It feels like
Rich
a
Bisaccia?
guaranteed. Feels guaranteed.
It's not necessarily his fault, but special teams has been an issue all year. Rich Bisaccia is the highest paid special teams coach, and it
Love
really
that.
hasn't paid off. I mean, yeah. Great. He won some games with the Raiders. I think he would have been if LaFleur was on a hot seat. I would love to have him as a head coach, sure. But LaFleur is not on a hot seat, even if idiot Packer fans are calling for it. Because that's just asinine.
That was me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, unless it is to get Halfley there, so he doesn't accept the job anywhere else, and our defense can have some continuity with it. But no, LaFleur's job's safe. Hopefully they fill up all the coaching spots before Halfley gets a chance. And yeah, it's just frustrating because you hold a division rival to under 10 points for the majority of the game, and just sucks to see one of those get away. And that game was for the division, and the Bears will be the 2 or the 3 seed, and can't wait to play them in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and one thing I think that a lot of people are forgetting because there was so many fireworks in the end of that game, on the drive the Bears were doing with like 4 minutes left in the fourth, there was like a 3rd and 20 where we sacked. The Packers sacked Caleb Williams, and so it would have been like 4th and 26 or 4th and 27. But it was just one of those plays where a defensive lineman is reaching out trying to grab the quarterback and just happens to find the face mask.
Again, I forget his name. I could not tell you it for the life of me. But what the fuck is that dude doing out there in that situation? Because we have no one else. I know the Bears fans on Twitter have been saying, well, actually, we've been playing with the most injured people snap count wise. Shut up, nerd. We're talking about star players. We don't have Devontae Wyatt. We don't have Micah Parsons. Otherwise, this game wouldn't have been fucking close. Our secondary is again been the biggest issue, the bane of my existence all season. And now that we don't have pass rushers or any kind of presence on the defensive line besides Rashawn Gary, who has extended his, congrats to him, he has extended his sackless streak to 8 games now, which I absolutely just love to hear that on account of we're paying him way too much money. Yeah. So we're gonna make the playoffs, and we might beat the Bears. We might beat the Bears, but
I just wanted to highlight that play because I feel like everybody is totally forgot about that because of all the missed opportunities with Nixon as well as Dobbs not recovering the onside kick. I mean, if that face mask doesn't happen, which I get, we can't play a game of what ifs, but if it's 4th and 26 there, game's probably over. Nothing I will say, right.
I did love the fucking scrappiness of it. It was fucking on site for both these teams from the jump. Literally, a dude jumped on the pile. That was moving. It was fucking awesome. Nixon's doing what he's doing, cheap shotting DJ Moore. Should have been a flag 100%, but whatever. We're here for it.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that Packers game really solidified to me. Okay, I'm a big time crying Caleb hater. I think that game just solidified to me on how dog shit Caleb Williams actually is. I'm not even joking. Like, if you can't, we are out. Evan Williams, who's playing at an all-pro level this year, is also out. Okay, so we have a secondary filled with bums. Okay. And fuck, who's our safety? Who's our I'm blanking on his name. Guy from New York.
McKinney?
Yeah, thank you. McKinney. Secondary filled with bums and McKinney. And you still can't you almost lose to a backup quarterback, and you needed 3 turnovers and some other things going your way to barely beat the Packers. Like,
I will say though, we play exceptionally well when Malik Willis is under center.
Yeah, I think our run game
wise, he is awesome.
Yeah,
that is when LaFleur is in his bag. And
I agree. Matt LaFleur does a really great. Our ground game for some reason just works so much better with Malik Willis. Josh Jacobs is kind of fucking not great this year, and our backup running backs have been producing better.
I mean, Jacobs was banged up in this. He was on crutches on Monday, and then was trying to play. Obviously, he had the big fumble too. That if we get points there, game's probably over. One thing to add to your crying Caleb hate, again, back to my what if scenario, if that face mask isn't called, there was 110 passing yards for Caleb Williams after that point of that face mask being called. So I think he ended with like 250. So he would have been at 140 with, I think, one passing touchdown maybe? Or no passing touchdowns
No
actually, because he
passing
had both of them at the end there. Right, so
Yeah.
he would have had 140, no passing touchdowns. And everybody would have been like, oh, I mean, yeah, whatever. But after that game, everybody was like, oh my God, Caleb Williams is legit. You found your Hall of Fame quarterback.
They're
Dude,
anointing
it's
him.
it's
Don't
so
get me wrong. I think Caleb Williams is going to be fine. I like him. Like I said, I would have been a fan of him wherever he went, but he had to go to an NFC North team, so I can't like him for as long as his tenure remains in Chicago. But I think he's going to be a fine quarterback. I don't think he's going to be great. He's going to need a lot. He's going to need to sling it these next 2 weeks if he wants to do something even more important than beating the Packers, and that's going to be the first Bears quarterback to ever hit 4,000 yards.
He's
which
not gonna
it
do
ain't
it.
happening this year. It ain't happening this year.
I don't know. Like the more I watch Crying Caleb, the more I am like, this guy is not that good. The more he solidifies my beliefs, because like he has so much help on him with that entire team. So much help on offense. I think at every single position, like he has first round picks everywhere on offense, right? Wide receiver, tight end, offensive line. I don't think running back, but first round picks everywhere. And then he has Ben Johnson, who's supposed to be, well, he is. Ben Johnson's one of the most innovative play callers in the league, and yet he's still fucking dog shit. And in my
could make the
beliefs,
same case for Jordan Love on the opposite side, though. His defense should be carrying him. He's got so many first round picks. Like,
yeah, on
it's
defense.
Yeah, but it's tough to be like labeled as a first round pick, and the expectation is there.
Well, what about Pro Bowlers? Because I think with the fan vote, the Bears are going to have about 15 or 16 Pro Bowlers.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I think it's going to be more than that.
Yeah, it's unreal.
I think it's just going to be, because they're not making the fucking Super Bowl this year. I think it's just going to be the
They're going
entire
one and done in the
53-man
playoffs.
roster on the Chicago Bears.
Right.
I think they're just going to be in Honolulu or wherever the fuck it's going to be.
Well, it's actually with the Super Bowl this year. It's Super Bowl week, I think.
Oh,
I believe. Anyways,
that's better.
any final thoughts on this one before we move on? I mean, just
I have a fun little stat line here.
Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna go first before Nick hits us with the stat line. I will say that because we have not been a perennial doormat this millennia, that the Packers and their fans, rightfully so, have the expectation of competing for a championship year in and year out. And when we fall short of that, that's when we get upset, frustrated, and whatnot. Or even like beating the Bears, beating the Vikings, Lions, any interdivision rival, awesome, sweet, I love it. Obviously, I'm never gonna be upset when we beat the Bears or anything like that. But we, as a Packers fan, the team, organization, whatever, lives rent free in so many of these brain dead idiots' heads that.
keep going.
Pop off.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe you'd say that.
I know. All right, well, Sean's dead here for a second. I'll rip off my fun little stat line.
I think the fucking people who the Packers live rent free in their head just fucking went to his apartment and took him out.
No.
All right, what's your stat, Nick?
Keyshawn Nixon has given up 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games, been targeted 15 times, allowing for 9 receptions for 142 yards. And he has 1 interception. He's been allowing a 113.9 passer rating, and he's committed 12 penalties in the past 4 games.
CB1.
3 games. Sorry, 3 games. Yeah, we were obviously talking about this before the season started. We were saying horrible things. Like, we were like, if Keyshawn Nixon's our starting quarterback 1, we are so fucking cooked this season. Like, he is just so not good. Watching him, he's just fucking horrible. 9 times. I like his mentality on how he's like, I'm the best, I'm going to try and do it. But he's not that good. And Nate Hobbs has been disappointing too. Very disappointing too. It's just Packers cornerbacks this year are just fucking not great, and Micah Parsons was a band-aid. So that's it. That's my little rant. That's my little thing. Let me just reemphasize. Ryan Caleb's not good. He's only good because his defense is good, and he has so much support around him everywhere. So I truly believe he's not even a top 20 quarterback in the league, skill-wise. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to be the Packers homer here. I do think the Bears are going to win the division. However, Packers are currently plus 700 to win the division. Packers end out with Ravens at home and then Minnesota on the road. And the Bears have to play at San Francisco, and then I think they host the Lions. I mean, Lions are going to be eliminated if the Packers win this week against the Ravens. But the Lions also knocked the Packers out of the playoffs a few years ago in Rodgers' last season as the Packers quarterback. I guess what I'm saying is it's not like the Bears have 2 tough games to try and get the division sealed up. So I don't know. I kind of think I'm trying to be objective. I know I'm a Packers homer, but Packers plus 700 to win the division, it's barking a little bit, I think.
That's it. I didn't even think about that. Damn. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, throw $100 on it, but if you have like $5 or $10 that's burning a hole, I feel like there's a lot of worse plus 700 odds out there that you could waste that on.
So what, the Bears just have to lose 1 and Packers win out? Or Bears have to lose 2?
Right, Bears have to lose 2 and Packers have to win out. But, I mean, the amount of pressure that would be on that team if they lose next week at San Francisco on Sunday night and the Packers win, I mean, that'd be a big game against Detroit. It all depends on if Detroit would still come out and play that game. But, I mean, I feel like Dan Campbell's that kind of guy where, they would like to knock the Bears out of the North. If they could. All right, moving on. Jets, Saints, not really a whole lot to cover here besides the Jets suck. And Nick already covered it. Tyler Shuck looks like a dog. 308-1. Chris Olave had 10 for 148-2. So Olave has a nice connection with Tyler Shuck. And the Jets still don't have an interception. I think they are the first team maybe to ever go 15 straight games without an interception. And they're only 2 games away from going an entire NFL season without having their defense get an interception. Which I know they traded Sauce Gardner and everything. But, like, that is a wild stat that you can't get 1 interception in an NFL season.
I was literally just about to make the Sauce Gardner joke as being like, oh, that team really feels like that they need a quarterback 1, just like Sauce Gardner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's like an unbeatable record too. Like, you can't, like, how the fuck,
Right.
how do you accomplish that?
Yeah.
Like, we were just talking about the Packers cornerbacks being dog shit. Damn, Jets, your franchise is literally on fire. God damn.
Yeah. Next one, Bills went into Cleveland, got the job done. James Cook kind of went off 117-2 on the ground. Like Nick said earlier, I think Josh Allen kind of had a stinker, 130 yards, no touchdowns. But, I mean, Bills still got it done in Cleveland. Myles Garrett did get half a sack. It was kind of a phony half a sack. Josh Allen was dropping back near the end zone and kind of just gave himself up. And Mason Graham, who's another Browns D lineman, and Myles Garrett both like got there. And Mason Graham actually touched him first. But then the NFL stats guy said since Josh Allen like gave himself up, it's a half sack for both of them. Anyways, moral of the story, Myles Garrett only got a half sack this week, so he is a half sack from the record, from tying the record, and a full sack from owning that record by himself, and he better get that this week, because if he does not get it, everyone's going to be saying it's not a real record if it takes him 18 weeks to get it. Because, obviously, 18 weeks, 17 games, Michael Strahan did it in a 17-week season of 16 games. So, next one, kind of another toilet bowl game. Kansas City went into Tennessee. Cam Ward actually looked pretty decent. 228-2. Tony Pollard also had 100 yards on the ground. Chiefs just could not do anything. Gardner Minshew obviously got hurt. And yeah, I mean, just sucks for the Chiefs. Chiefs are moving to Kansas as well. So new dome stadium in Kansas in 2030 was the news that came out today. No longer will be in Missouri. So
Speaking about that, so how do we feel about the Illinois Bears, or not the Illinois, the fucking Indiana
Indiana?
Bears? There we go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
A game that started off as a shootout. Chargers go into Dallas and get a 34-17 win. I don't think there was a punt until like the second half or late in the second quarter. Both teams were just going back and forth for touchdowns right away, and ultimately the Chargers just were too much. Herbert hit 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quentin Johnson had a bomb of a touchdown. George Pickens finally came back for the Cowboys. He's been kind of quiet the last few weeks, and he had 130 and a touchdown. So that was a fun game to watch. Chargers, I think, control their, or no, maybe they don't control their own destiny. There was something with the Chargers about like they played the Broncos week 18. I don't know if they control their own destiny, but Broncos losing to Jacksonville was a big deal, and the Chargers winning. Another toilet bowl. Minnesota went into New York and got the win over the Giants, 16-13.
Sean's really
Not a lot
happy about
to,
that one.
yeah, not a lot to say there. Besides, 9 did get a rushing touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw that. He kind of like flipped in, I think.
I didn't see it.
Big one in the NFC South. Hello.
Hello? How bad does it sound?
Horrible.
Yeah, not great.
I don't know what's going on with my internet at the moment. Oh, we might be back.
Jesus Christ.
We might be back.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
What also was not great, the Buccaneers losing to Carolina 23-20. Carolina now takes over the NFC South lead. These two teams do play again in Week 18, so Carolina does not have the division wrapped up yet, and that game will be in Tampa Bay in Week 18. However, I mean, Baker just does not look good. He only had 145 yards passing. He threw an interception on the final drive. Mike Evans broke in. Baker threw it out. I mean, Evans was running out right away, but then the corner had outside leverage, so he broke in, and Baker still threw it. I don't know. I've been wanting the Bucks. I've been wanting to jump on the Bucks bandwagon. Like I said, I've backed in the last 4 weeks against the spread. They're 0-3-1 in that time. The Bucks just are not a good football team at the moment. And yeah, I mean, shout out to the Panthers being 8-7, potentially getting the division win. I don't think a whole lot of people saw that before the season started.
God, no.
All right, we have arrived. Bears fans cut me off during that rant. Shut my internet off.
Welcome back.
God damn it. See, this is why we need a studio. So, if you
Yeah,
also
right.
think we need a studio so this shit doesn't happen, rate, review, and subscribe.
Hell yeah. We're moving on to the Bengals going into Miami and just taking care of the Dolphins. Joe Burrow threw for over 304, and Quinn Ewers did not throw for a touchdown and had 2 interceptions. Yeah, I guess Bengals looked really good again with Joe Burrow. They kind of had a stinker the week before, but Bengals go down to Miami and take care of business. And then the big one out in the AFC West, the Jacksonville Jaguars were jagging all off over the Broncos. Is Trevor Lawrence for real?
One of the few times I was actively rooting against the Jags because of the parlay, but we may hit one of those before the NFL season's over again. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's the Liam Cohen effect. He did it for your boy Baker. Then he jumped ship and attached himself to another shooting star in Trevor Lawrence. And now we got Goldilocks looking pretty solid and Baker struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I thought Denver looked pretty good against the Packers. I know the Packers had some injuries at the end of that game. I guess playing at Mile High, the win streak the Broncos were on, the Jags just kind of went in there and just kind of gave it to the Broncos in Mile High. So Jags do have a decent path to the 1 seed, I think. Not 100% likely, obviously, but Who would have thought Jags could be the 1 seed in the AFC?
Yeah,
That's
no,
wild.
it's impressive to see. But yeah, I thought it was very formulaic as well last week. I thought cold weather team should dominate warm weather team going across the country, but just did not happen.
Well, talking about teams going across the country, Atlanta, the Falcons went into Arizona and dispatched the Cardinals 26-19. Kirk Cousins did not break 200 yards. He was at 197. And Jacoby Brissett kind of had a stinker. His first one, I feel like of all the games he started, he barely reached 200 yards and only had 31 passing attempts. But yeah, I mean, Falcons are on a 2 or 3 game win streak now, I believe.
Yeah, good. I mean, their season's done, so they're really just sabotaging their ability to capitalize on the draft. But I don't give a shit. We don't have a first round pick, so I could care less.
Yeah. Bijan Robinson is slowly turning into like the old Saquon Barkley of just unreal talent on bad
He's
team.
nuts.
Um,
I had him last week. You get
Yeah.
one more touchdown, I'm feeling a lot better about my position.
I think he's over 2,000 scrimmage yards now this year.
Disgusting.
Yeah, so need to let Bijan get on a winning team because he is an electric factory on the football field.
Yeah.
Talking about electric factories, the Raiders went into Houston and almost pulled off the upset. Ashton Genty, welcome to the NFL. It only took him 16 weeks, but 128 on the ground with a touchdown, and then he had one reception, a 60-yard bomb for a touchdown as well. That's the Genty I think everybody that picked him in the first round of fantasy this year thought they were going to be getting. And it only took him 16 weeks to get there. Not his fault necessarily, but
No, the Raiders suck.
yeah, good to see Genty have a good week. And I mean, Texans defense did have a pick 6 on Geno, first drive of the game. So if or second drive, first or second drive of the game, they had a pick 6 on Geno. So if Geno cleans that up, maybe the Raiders could have pulled off the upset in Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Gino, at this, you ain't gonna teach an old dog new tricks at this point in his career. So you just gotta live with it.
And then talk about the week of controversial endings. Steelers heading into Detroit, and they pull out the 29-24 win. Steelers were kind of in control of this game the entire way. That crazy catch right before halftime by Gainwell, where he's falling. He gets PI'd by the middle linebacker, Anzalone, I think, down the sideline. Pass interference, gets like tugged down. As Gainwell's falling down, ball from Rodgers hits his arm, and Gainwell catches it on like the 5-yard line. Nobody realizes that he actually caught it besides Gainwell. So he gets up, runs it in. And that was with like 5 seconds left before halftime too. So if he doesn't catch that, it's pass interference. They kick a field goal, but instead they get the touchdown. And just a crazy play going into half. It's reminiscent because before this game and during the game, they were talking about Rodgers' Hail Mary that was like 10 or 11 years ago in Detroit. So it wasn't necessarily a play on that level, but a very wacky play that Rodgers throwing it deep happens in Detroit. I guess, it was nice to see old Aaron Rodgers have success in Detroit once again and help out the Packers a little bit with their playoff implications.
Do you think he thinks
And
of
then-
that? Like, do you think that ever
No,
crosses his
he just-
mind where he's
no.
just like,
No.
oh, yeah.
He gives zero fucks. He is the guy that gives zero. I mean, I don't even know if he knows what the Packers record is this year, to be honest. Since we played him in like week 6 or week 7, I don't think he keeps track of that at all.
6 or 7?
But then, yeah, the last play the last drive of this game, Detroit
God,
gets the ball back,
It's nuts.
drives it down. They score a touchdown with Amon-Ra on like the 2-yard line, but
Well, even that's
There's a-
controversial.
there's a pick play called, which I am a guy who doesn't like pick plays. I don't know if that's necessarily a pick play. Like it's a pick play, but like Tesla didn't like headhunt the corner like you see some guys. Like some guys on pick plays are like literally like blockers. Tesla just ran an in route and the corner ran right into him. So like if you're Tisla, you're supposed to jump out of the way. Like, I don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation. And I think that's part of the, like, if you don't want to deal with that, don't run man on the goal line. Like, run zone or pass people off. Like, anyways, so Lions get an offensive pass interference on that. Do not score the touchdown. So now they're back on like the 12-yard line instead of the 2. And it comes down to 4th down. Amon-Ra St. Brown then gets an offensive pass interference on Jalen Ramsey, but Amon-Ra catches the ball not in the end zone, is getting tackled, flips it to Jordan. Jesus, this Admiral Nelson's kicking in already. Jared Goff pitches it to Jared Goff, and Jared Goff somersaults into the end zone.
Oh yeah, that was amazing
for a touchdown. However, since it was offensive pass interference and the clock hit 0, the game is not extended and the game's over, which it was hilarious to be watching the TV broadcast. And when after they reviewed it, or after they the referees talked about it, and the first thing he says is the result of the play is a touchdown, and the whole arena stadium just erupts, and they don't hear the rest of the announcement that, however, there's offensive pass interference, and since it happened with 0 seconds on the clock, the game is over. So, like, Steelers are celebrating, the whole stadium's still celebrating, thinking it's a touchdown. That was pretty cool to see. So yeah, anyways, just a controversial ending there too.
I don't know if we touched on it yet. In this game, also more breaking news about it. But DK Metcalf and a fan got into a little bit of an altercation.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about that, or was my Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay.
We haven't. I was saving that for the end.
Oh shit! All right.
Well, like, no, you hit it perfectly. We haven't talked about it yet.
Yes. No, I got you. Yeah. So that was nuts. The video on that. I mean, apparently the guy's like a serial offender. Like, he's just trying to fuck with DK Metcalf, and he called him by his. So there was the big hiccup in there was that DK's like, he called me a racial slur. That's why I had to do it. And there's a video now surfacing of the dude. All he was calling him was his government name. Where it's I had it on here earlier. It's like Zacchaeus, whatever, Metcalf, and
Decalen Zacharias Metcalf,
something like that. Yeah, probably I should not be trying to pronounce these long names. I'm just gonna butcher them. So that's what sparked the fight. But again, if he's been constantly trying to fuck with you, why even put yourself in that situation is the biggest question to be asked. And the league has come out and since breaking as of probably a couple hours before we went live, but 2-game suspension, so he is done the rest of the regular season. So rip any other season DK Metcalf props you got.
Yeah, like you said, just interesting for DK to even put himself in that situation. I mean,
he had to walk over there. That was like
right.
10 yards behind the bench. Like,
yeah, it's not one of those scenarios where he's walking through the tunnel and like fan is like leaning over and like they cross paths. Like, DK had to go out of his way to go talk to the guy, pull him down, and then uppercut him, and then just walk back like nothing happened.
Yeah, and just stay on, like, if he's at the 50, okay, just stay on one side of the field or the other, depending on where the ball's at. Like, you're a professional athlete. These assholes are going to get drunk and try and talk shit and just make you like, that dude won. The blue-haired dude won. Mm-hmm. It's not a good look.
No, not at all. Like, you're supposed to like keep a cool head, you know. Yeah. And obviously DK's not that guy to keep a cool head.
I get if it's like Philly and they're talking like, and they're like doxing your family or something, and because they're just trash bags. But this is, where were they? Detroit. Granted, this guy sounds like he was following them way before that, but I just don't understand that. Like, file a harassment claim, whatever. Do whatever. Go through the legality process of it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the day, you are so much bigger than that dude. Who gives a fuck about that fan?
Yeah, well, and one last piece, I guess, of that game. Now the Steelers have 9 wins, so racks up another winning season for Mike Tomlin.
Cha-ching, baby.
Yeah, 19 for 19. Just unreal, I guess, to be at that level in the NFL. And I know he's had a couple seasons that he went 8-8. I think there's like 3 or 4 of those years, but still, to never have a losing season in the NFL over almost 2 decades now is almost unbelievable. So shout out Mike Tomlin for being just a dude. All right, and last game that we have as we're recording this, because the Monday night game is just starting right now. On Sunday night, the Patriots headed to Baltimore and beat the Ravens 28-24 in a comeback win. Drake May, 380 and 2. Man, he looks good. Stephon Diggs, I wish I would have sniffed this one out. I totally forgot he went to Maryland. And that would just be a big, kind of home / comeback game for him. He went 9 for 138.
Well, he also had plenty of contract incentive props that I guess I should have been doing my homework and sniffed that shit out earlier. I always forget about it this time of the year. This
this is the time of the year that matters most, baby.
I know.
Well, then Derrick Henry had a good game too. 128 on the ground for Henry and 2 touchdowns. Lamar obviously got injured in this game. It's like a back contusion, I think. Like X-rays were negative, and basically it sounds like he just has a bad bruise on his back and is getting treatment. So I assume he's going to be playing in Green Bay this week with their season on the line. However, one thing that people have been talking about, and I think we should talk about, is how come Derrick Henry has 128 and 2 and scores the go-ahead touchdown to go up 24-13 with like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then never sees the ball again, and then the Ravens end up losing.
Part of that's Jim Harbaugh's inept coaching on that one, and part of it is just trying to fuck the gamblers that have the Derrick Henry. John, sorry, they're brothers. They still both coach, but in the NFL. But yeah, part of it's just trying to fuck the gamblers on the Derrick Henry Russian prop ladder.
Yeah, I mean, I get they're trying to get Keaton Mitchell involved, and like he does look decent as well, but Derrick Henry just had one of those nights last night where like he just couldn't be stopped. I mean, sure, you might every once in a while get a play where you stop him before he gets moving full speed, but he was just running through people. He was running past people. He just looked like vintage.
He was stiff-arming cornerbacks that were trying to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. He was awesome.
So yeah, that was just really, and even like Collinsworth picked up on it. Finally was done crying over the Mahomes torn ACL, but I think Collinsworth picked up on it where he's like, we haven't seen Derrick Henry in forever. Like, why is he not in the game? So just weird, I guess, when you're trying to win a game, you're leading the game, and you have a power back in Derrick Henry. It's kind of like going back to Pete Carroll and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Like. What the fuck? Are you trying to lose? Like, why you have Derrick Henry? Give him the fucking ball 3 times. If they can stop him 3 times and not let him get 10 yards, then sure, they deserve to win. But when you're trying to do cute shit with Snoop Huntley and fucking Keaton Mitchell, when you have Derrick Henry just sitting on the sidelines, like...
Yeah, I feel like especially like if you have Lamar and he's chucking it, I get that. But to have him out and it's Snoop, like, obviously they key on Derrick Henry. They always key in on Derrick Henry. Just get him the ball. Let your playmakers make plays.
So yeah, interesting one there. And like I said, we got Niners Colts just kicking off now. Colts are driving, first drive of the game. Yep. So we don't have results on that one yet. But overall, I guess a very exciting week 16. Plenty of games with drama. Plenty of games that came down to it. And I think sucks for the Packers obviously, but outside of that, I think it was a fun weekend of football.
Oh yeah.
Great. At the end of the day, the Packers still control their own destiny. So, we just got to take care of business this week, and we're in. We're fine.
Yeah. What do we have? Like a 94% chance of making the playoffs now? Something like that.
Yeah. The only way
we already clinched before Christmas or after Christmas.
Right. The only way we don't make it is if we lose out and the Lions win out, which could happen. But Yeah, I guess we're favored this week against. Well, Jesus, the we again. Packers are favored this week against the
This
Ravens,
is a Packer podcast. I don't know
Yeah,
and
dude.
why we're acting like it's not.
the Packers will be favored in Minnesota next week, I assume, unless we lose half our team again to injuries, which seems like
Oh
it's
my
happening
God.
every week now. And speaking about injuries, like yeah, Jordan Love got injured in that game. Quinshon Judkins had a disgusting injury in that Bills Browns game. Sucks for him.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not like a torn ACL or anything that should affect him being ready for the start of next season. But
Anytime it's a broken leg, though, like 'cause it was a fibula, right? Fractured fibula.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's tough. That and like a dislocated ankle. I mean, you always
Mhm.
wonder about, especially with those like joints and ligaments and everything down there,
Right.
the fine tissue. It's just gonna be tough to see if his putting ability and everything's there. Hopefully it is, because he was electric when he's healthy.
Yeah, and JJ McCarthy hurt his hand and left the game in the fourth quarter. I believe it was either late third or early fourth.
I just shut him down personally.
Yeah, I mean, 9 did have the rushing touchdown, but didn't do a whole lot through the air. And yeah, I mean, you just don't want that guy to get hurt again if he's going to be your franchise quarterback. Ryan Kelly had a concussion, and I guess I should have went back to this as well for the Vikings. Jordan Mason had an ankle injury and left the game, so Aaron Jones got a lot of work for the Vikings in that one. And then yeah, Gardner Minshew initially was thought to have an ACL injury, which sucked, but turns out it's just a really bad bone bruise. He's going on IR, I believe, so he's still done for the season, but not as terrible as it could have been. The Cardinals, I forget the name, but the Cardinals had a defensive back who tore his Achilles, and then for the
Walter Miller.
Packers,
Also went down with like an ACL or something. He was carted off the field. I forget what it
Yeah.
was, but
and then the Packers also, Fitzpatrick, their tight end, had an Achilles.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are asking this question, but like, why are there so many Achilles injuries these days? Like,
Honestly, it's because they showed the stat a couple weeks ago where it was like 30 after Mahomes and Parsons. It was like 30 compared to the average, where it's like it ends up closer to like 60 or something like that. So technically, it's down in terms of the average of the last like 10 years or whatever. But it's
well, you're
still
talking
like,
ACLs or Achilles,
oh, Achilles. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, ACLs. But
right? But like Achilles seem like they're on the rise because like
Phillip Rivers touchdown.
I don't remember people just popping their Achilles as much as it seems to. I mean,
No.
it almost there's at least 2 guys a week it seems like that are popping their Achilles. Where like
Yeah.
when Kirk did it a few years ago, it was kind of like that happens in the NFL. Like I don't know, maybe I just didn't recognize it before Rodgers did his, and now I'm just like seeing them all happen.
Yeah, well,
But,
typically, yeah, like ACL, you think, oh yeah, it's pretty par for the course. Like that'll happen. I mean, these guys are freak athletes. They'll cut. Their bodies can't handle it. But yeah, Phillip Rivers, 20-yard touchdown pass to Alec Pierce, gonna stand.
Damn. Well, that's a good one. I guess looking at spreads from last week, man, it's getting tight for the spreads. So currently, with not counting this Monday night game, all three of us are tied at 120, 115, and 4 with spreads. Sean and I went 9-5 and 1 this week, and Nick is 8-6 and 1. Now we do still have a little bit of discrepancy on this Monday night game. Sean and I are on the Niners -6.5, and Nick's on the Colts +6.5. So with that early Phillip Rivers touchdown, it's looking good for Nick. So I guess with that, going into Week 17, either Nick will still be up 1 game and nothing will have changed in Week 16 spread-wise, or if the Niners can come back, so it's still very early, Sean and I would be up 1 game on Nick. Regardless to say, going into Week 17, there is going to be a maximum of 1 game separating the three of us spread-wise, and once again, whoever, it may be all three of us, but whoever finishes last in the spreads is going to have a punishment to pay before next season. Also, squad rides did good this last week. We had 6 of them in Week 16. We went 4-1-1 on squad rides, so our squad rides are back positive. We are 60, 59, and 3 on squad rides this year. All right, well, let's get into our Week 17 picks here. This is Christmas week, so we got 3 games on Christmas Day, 2 games on Saturday, and then a whole slate on Sunday, and then obviously a Monday night game as well. Sean, do you want to lead us off this week since you and I tied and I let us off last week?
Golly, I guess so.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't you lead us off? I'll go second, and Secretariat can be our caboose.
Woo!
All right, perfect.
So yeah, first one, we got a big ol' NFC East matchup that ultimately means nothing. Thursday to kick off Week 17 on Christmas Day. The Cowboys heading to Washington to take on the Commanders. Cowboys are road 6.5-point favorites. Who do you like in this one, Sean?
I'm not sure the status of Mariota still, and whether he's a go or not. I'm judging the lines probably playing it where he's not going to be, but I don't know. It's a short week for both teams, and both of them being eliminated from playoff contention after the Eagles clinched it last week. Could be a spot where they just don't want to risk them and they just shut them down for the year. I don't know. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, watching the Commanders last week when Josh Johnson, who's their backup to Mariota, I believe, came in the game. I don't know if they had any positive yards. I mean, it was rough. Obviously, the Philly defense is better than the Dallas defense, but that Dallas offense just has so many weapons. I mean, this last week, George Pickens went off. CeeDee Lamb didn't really do a whole lot. As long as Dak is throwing the ball and CD and Pickens are out there, I don't see how the Commanders can keep up. So I will also take Dallas minus 6.5.
Yeah, and I'm going to be following up on Dallas for the exact reasons. Dallas has just a really great offense. Their defense is really lacking in a lot of places. But, I don't see a world where the Commanders can keep up with Dallas's offense. You know, I could easily see this being like a 28 to 17 game. Or Dallas just puts up numbers, and the Commanders just won't be able to follow that up. So I'm following along with Dallas. So first squad oh my God, first squad ride of the week.
Oh yeah, love the squad reads.
Yeah.
Next one, another kind of meaningless divisional game. Detroit heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, also on Christmas Day. Detroit is favored by 6 points on the road after giving that game up at home to the Steelers. Vikings are out of playoff contention, so it doesn't matter for them. Detroit needs to win their final 2 games, and they need the Packers to lose their final 2 games to get in. So Dan Campbell and the boys should be hungry for this one at least, trying to keep their season alive before the Packers play on Saturday. Sean, you think 9 and the Vikings can get this one done?
So, 2 games ago, the Lions lost a heartbreaker to the Rams. Last week, another heartbreaker. I just don't see them losing 3 games in a row. They still have an outside shot to make the playoffs, like you alluded to. They're broken, and if they win out, and Jared Goff in a dome is just awesome. When he gets outside of his element in the cold, which would be next week at Soldier Field in the cold, I expect them to crumble a little bit. So give me the Lions here.
Yeah, I mean, I stats department doesn't have it, but the Lions, I believe, hadn't lost back-to-back games for quite a long time. So them losing back-to-back weeks, I don't think it's going to be 3 weeks in a row. The Vikings struggled to beat the Giants. Obviously, that game was on the road, but the Giants are in contention for the first overall pick. And the Lions are still playing for their season. So give me the team that's hungry. Give me the team that still has a shot. I'll take the Lions minus 6.
Yeah, the Lions I know have been a little bit beat up here and there. At this point in the season, we can kind of see, what's their record? They are 7, 8, or how many wins do they have? 7 or 8?
The Lions?
The Lions.
Who?
The Lions.
The Lions have 8 wins.
8 wins? Okay. They have 8 wins. It kind of shows how important your coordinators are. Last year they lost 2 games. And now they lost both offensive and defensive coordinators. Really shows how much coaching really matters. And I still really believe in Dan Campbell. And obviously, their season's still technically alive. And they're just going to get done what they can get done, and that's to beat the fuck out of the Minnesota Vikings. So give me Detroit. Another squad read.
2 squad reads to start Week 17. Can we make it a third with the Broncos heading to Kansas City in Arrowhead, taking on the Chiefs? Broncos, after that disastrous game at home against the Jags, are 12.5-point favorites on the road in Arrowhead. Is that number right? Oh, yeah. Pat Mahomes tore his ACL, and Gardner Minshew's out for the season as well. So who are the Chiefs starting at quarterback? Is it Chiefsaholic or whatever that fucking wolf that's in prison's named?
Robber?
Yeah. I don't think he's available either. So is it Clark Hunt, their owner? Isn't that his name? I don't know what the fuck his name. But, who's playing quarterback for the Chiefs?
DeMarcus Robinson, 22-yard touchdown.
Yep.
It's going to be a tie game, PAT pending.
It should have been to Juwan Jennings, but you know what? I guess.
You just hand to Phillip Rivers. He got that look in his eye. He ain't going to let that shit slide.
Dude, Phil's going to show you why you guys shouldn't
But,
have faded him.
yeah. I'm assuming this is the soft toss to me here. I can't tell you the last time in the Patrick Mahomes era that the Chiefs were this big of a dog, if ever, at home. Now, I know he's not playing, but it's still with good reason. Like, I can't tell you. You even just said it. I wasn't even paying attention. I don't know who the fuck the backup is. And when the Chiefs are dropping games to Cam Ward and the Titans, the Broncos are just chomping at the bit to get back and play some ball of any kind after they got embarrassed last week. And with it being a divisional game, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and run the score up. So give me the Broncos here.
Yeah, one thing here is the Broncos kind of have a look ahead to Week 18 where they got to play the Chargers. The Broncos do not have the AFC West locked up, which seems kind of crazy. The Chargers are making a play for that. And anyways, yeah, I don't know. Give me the Broncos. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really believe in Denver, as a playoff team, as a true Super Bowl contender. I really don't believe in them. But Kansas City, who the fuck are they rolling out? Genuinely, and the Broncos have a really good defense. The Chiefs' offense wasn't that good, even with Mahomes, and Mahomes was still putting up good numbers, but their offense wasn't that good. Now they're gonna roll out some fucking dude off the street to fucking play quarterback for them. That's just spelling for just some despicable score. It's gonna be 23-0 or some shit like that. The Broncos are gonna score a lot, but the Chiefs aren't going to find a way to score. They're dead in the water this game. I don't see how they can even make this a competitive game. So give me Denver.
Well, I teased them already. The next game is the Chargers at home hosting the Houston Texans. Chargers are still hunting for that AFC West divisional crown. Chargers are home 2.5-point favorites against the Texans. Texans have had one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. And Chargers at home is not really a home game because it seems like they get infiltrated by everybody else's fan base. Sean, who do you like in this? Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, I was thinking about this one. This was the last game that I filled in because I just could not get a read on it for the life of me. And I know that the Chargers don't have an offensive line, which for those of us that are new here, if you're not going to be new here if you're listening to us, but if you're new to the game of football in general, an offensive line is pretty important. And the Chargers have been battered, bruised, and beaten the entire season with their O-line. But God damn it, this team just keeps finding ways to win. I don't understand how they won last week against a pretty good Dallas team. Granted, that defense is atrocious. And how they've just continued to keep grinding out these wins besides John Harbaugh being the fucking dude. But, yeah, it's gonna be interesting watching that offensive line go up against a very good Texans defensive line, but I'm just going to give the edge to the home team here. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, well, that's not John. That's Jim. And you know who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Nobody. Yep, give me the Chargers.
I
Let's
don't.
That's all
fumble.
I got.
This just
49ers take over.
this just feels like one of those games that the Chargers drop. I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like a game that the Chargers just drop. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me to elaborate. But I just don't have a good feeling for the Chargers. And so I'm going to fade them. I'm going to go with the Texans. I want to see the Chargers win. I want to see the Chargers do great. I'm a faux Chargers fan. One of the few. One of the ones that don't actually exist. But I don't know. It just
Not a
feels.
hologram.
It just feels like the Texans' defense is just too fucking good. And they are going to find a way to stall out the Chargers' offense, and they're going to just eke by enough positive plays to turn the game in their favor. So I just have to go with the Texans here. I don't feel great about it, but I don't really feel bad about it either.
All right. Well, talking about not feeling great, Packers another Saturday night game at home this time against the Ravens. Packers are home 2.5-point favorites. Jordan Love's in concussion protocol. Malik Willis has an AC joint sprain, I think, or something fucked up with his shoulder. So who's coming out to play quarterback for the Packers? Who knows at this point? Probably going to be Love. Same thing could be said for the Ravens, though. Who's going to come out and play quarterback for them? Is it Lamar Jackson with his back contusion, or is it going to be Snoop Huntley? And does Derrick Henry even get on the plane for this one? Are they going to give him the ball at all, or does he just stay home? But yeah, Packers favored by 2.5. Who do you like in this one, Sean?
So I don't know if this line is more telling that Love is going to play, or if Jackson and Love both aren't playing. Because if that's the case, I know Malik Willis is banged up with a shoulder injury, but like I was saying earlier, I think that he fits our system very well. It opens up the door just because he's a lot more of a dual threat quarterback than Love, and I do like the Packers to get it done here. We have stopped Derrick Henry in Lambeau in the cold before when the Titans were good. And I think that we don't necessarily have the playmakers to do it, but for some reason I feel like we can get it done. And if we win here, it wraps up the NFC playoff picture with us getting the 7th seed. I am nervous, though, if somehow 9 and the boys are able to upset Detroit, that we may just be trotting out. I don't even know who. My favorite one that I've seen this week is just that Josh Jacobs is a lethal quarterback out of the wishbone, which would be awesome. Just fucking around, having him do that shit. But, which we could see some fucking wacky formations. I do not discredit that. Because, again, I think LaFleur is a good coach, so he will scheme to what it is. We already have reports that the Packers are not getting, they're not like going to be working out a new quarterback or anything, so it's either going to be Love or Willis or nobody. So that's a little scary. But give me the Packers here.
Yeah, Sean brought up the one thing that does scare me is if somehow 9 and the Vikings do beat the Lions on Thursday, on Christmas Day. I don't think the Packers can really improve our seeding much anyways. So especially with our injuries, like, do we just trot out a bunch of at this point, 3rd and 4th stringers and
Dude, we
just
want the Bears.
I want the Bears.
Anyways, I think that's the thing that scares me the most is if this becomes a not necessary game for the Packers, but I'll still take the Packers.
Receiving touchdown.
I'll still take the Packers minus 2.5.
Yeah, I think we should give Ben Kirk a call and see what he's doing. Maybe Sean Clifford if we're feeling frothy.
He's making YouTube videos. Yeah, get Cliffy out there.
Yeah, dude.
Have a good time.
Good for Kirk. Doing that being a backup his entire career. He got 1 snap and he's able to make a career out of football even though he's not in football. Good money moves.
I mean, the quarterbacks that make it in the NFL, they're geniuses at their craft. I mean, again, I always use a Ryan Fitzpatrick example, but any of them, if you can hold on to a team for a few years, you're not a dumb dude. You can figure out an NFL playbook. You can read that shit. So might as well try and educate the educate the rest of us.
Yeah, and I love his content. But going back to the actual game, yeah, I would love to see Josh Jacobs back there slinging the rock. I think that would actually be a super fun game to see Snoop versus Josh Jacobs? Question mark.
Straight out of the 40s.
Can they just run Derrick Henry out of Wildcat the entire game and do a running back v running back showdown?
Cool.
But I don't know. I feel like Green Bay's offense is just good. LaFleur, he was going through some stinkers week to week, and now he's got his fucking. It feels like he has his mojo back. I am once again confident in Matt LaFleur's play calling. Instead of calling screen passes every fucking screens and swings and fucking jet sweeps every other fucking play, now he's doing it once every other drive. Which has been doing great for the Packers offense.
I am still sick of seeing Savion Williams on the field.
I don't understand why we put fucking like Romeo Dobbs as like a punt returner sometimes, or like we had like Golden back there. Put Savion Williams back there. Like I don't want to see Dobbs or Golden touching the ball on special teams, except in the onside.
So the one thing with the fucking punt returner is I just want somebody who catches the ball. I don't care if you're shifty or whatever. You got to catch the fucking punt. So
fair.
If you have Golden, who has the best hands, or Dobbs, who supposedly is supposed to have good hands, but apparently doesn't with onside kicks.
Why not have Golden hands team? I don't understand.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Great question.
All right, moving on. Seahawks heading to Carolina. The battle of two division leaders. Seahawks are favored by 7.5 points on the road. Sean, do you like Bryce Young and the Panthers with getting 7 in the hook at home?
I hate this. I hate the hook. I really do. But with the Panthers, it's been acknowledged that they're a good football team, and this will be the best test for them to determine like how good of a football team you're going up against. The top seed in the NFC, so we'll see what it'll really test their mettle. All right, like we'll see what they got. But at the end of the day, give me the Seahawks here. The Seahawks just have more to play for, and the Panthers could still drop this game and then win next week and take care of business the following week and end up winning the division. So, yeah, give me the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. Seahawks have looked good on the road this year, arguably better than they look at home. And yeah, I don't trust the Panthers enough against the Seahawks. So the hook obviously is always scary, but Seahawks are going to take care of business.
Yeah, it's shout out to the Panthers for like their turnaround in their franchise in like the past year, like going from being fucking absolutely abysmal to all of a sudden being a contender for your division. Congrats to you guys. I would like to see Bryce Young to continue to develop and whatnot. But good for you guys. In this game though, I would be surprised if the Panthers can keep up. You know, like I want to see the Panthers succeed, and like Sean was talking about, it's a really good litmus test for the Panthers to see how good you actually are. I don't think they're good enough to keep it within 7.5 points. There would have to be some sort of meltdown on the Seahawks' behalf. It wouldn't be because the Panthers won't win because the Panthers are better. The only way the Panthers will win is if the Seahawks fuck up and make mistakes. And I hate to say that, but I truly believe the only way the Seahawks lose this game is if they just make mistakes. I don't think the Panthers are capable of causing them to make mistakes. So I'm going to go with Seattle here.
Awesome. Another squad ride seems to be a common theme this week. Next game, big AFC North matchup. The Steelers versus the Browns. Pittsburgh after that big win in Detroit, and the Browns after dropping the game at home to the Bills. Pittsburgh's only favored by 3.5 for this game on the road in Cleveland, and the total's 34.5, so it might be a grinded out game. Sean, with it being that low of a total and that low of a point spread, are the dogs and the dog pound in play here?
So I'll answer that question with a statement. That doesn't necessarily have to do with the point total or the spread or anything of it itself. But Aaron Rodgers has the potential to do the funniest thing by just straight up mimicking Brett Favre with Myles Garrett only needing one or a half of a sack to tie the record. One full sack breaks the NFL single season sack record at 23, I believe. So ideally, I hope it happens where he's rolling out naked on a play action and just slides a la Michael Strahan and Gastineau coming at him in a couple of years. But
Oh my
that
god.
would be hilarious.
Dude, Gastineau was so
Yeah.
fucking heated about that. He's still heated to this day about it. Dude, that's just...
Oh yeah.
I forgot. I was like a sleeper agent. As soon as you said his name, I was like, wait, I fucking remember that beef now. Bro
Yeah, just
hates
gotta get
Favre
over it.
for
Brett
it.
Favre doesn't remember. Brett Favre doesn't remember that. He has CTE. He's just hanging out, living his best life. But yeah, at the end of the day, give me Pittsburgh here. I don't necessarily love it. I think they're going to try and take care of business against Cleveland this week, so it's not a winner goes to the playoff situation against. Do they play the Ravens next week, or do they already play them both? I forget, but I know they play in.
I believe they
AFC
play the
North.
Ravens again
Yeah,
next
so
week.
if the Ravens technically beat the Packers, again, this is another questionable thing where if the Packers take care of business, beat the Ravens, I don't necessarily know. I mean, we're going to see Rodgers, but to what extent are we going to try and get some early rest because you can clinch the division now at week 17 and the lad kind of having just a little bit of early rest. I don't know. Give me the Pittsburgh here though. I think it's ideally Garrett breaks a sack record. I'll be tuning in. I'll be keeping tabs. But
That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to see that.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh as well. I mean, I don't know. This is a scary one, but as long as Shedeur Sanders is back there for the Browns, I'm not too scared. So I'll take Pittsburgh minus 3.5.
Didn't he have like the 10th most Pro Bowl votes for a while? Are you telling me that a future Pro Bowler, potential future Pro Bowler, isn't that good? Come on, buddy.
Jadore's good, dude.
Yeah, Travis Kelce is also destroying all tight ends in Pro Bowl votes. And what's he done this year?
What do you mean? Travis
Yeah.
Kelce is
Anyways.
dating Taylor Swift. That's all he needs.
All
to
right.
do. All right. Give me Pittsburgh. I am a chronic Aaron Rodgers dick rider, and I love Rodgers. I think whatever offense he's running is probably a really fucking good offense, and they're going to be about to score people. Even if the Browns have a really good defense, I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way to put some fucking points on the board and to, win the game. So,
All right. From one, or I guess two AFC North teams to a third one, the Bengals will be at home hosting the Arizona Cardinals. The Bengals are 7-point home favorites. What do you like in this matchup, Sean?
I'm going to go Bengals here. I'm just not going to waste much time on this game. Cardinals are bad in general. They're really going to be really bad on the road. Joe Burrow is good. So, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet too. I'll take the Bengals. If Cardinals can't beat the Falcons at home, I don't know how they go to Cincinnati and outduel Joe Burrow. So I will take the Bengals as well.
if Joe Burrow had another stinker this past week, and this was the line, I'd be like, okay, you know what? I can see why. I can see this happening. But Joe Burrow and the Bengals fucking laid a dookie on their chest. And so I'm assuming the Cardinals won't be able to keep up with the Bengals. So give me Bengals here.
All right, another squad ride for the squad. That is 7 squad rides so far through 8 games. Let's see if that changes here at the end. Jacksonville heading to Indianapolis. Now, this line might change dramatically, potentially, one way or another here. Currently, the Colts at home are going to be 7-point dogs, so Jacksonville will be 7-point favorites on the road. Like we've been kind of teasing throughout this episode, the Monday night game's going on right now. So this line could change. However, currently it's 7 points. So we'll go with 7 points for the Jags. Sean, who do you like in this one?
Oh, I reserved my right to pick. All I had for this was Indy with a question mark. I'm like, if I come out and I'm watching Philip Rivers lay a fucking stinker on Monday Night Football, I want nothing to do with this goddamn Colts team. I don't know whether or not it is Philip Rivers getting more comfortable with the play calls and everything, and just the kind of getting familiar with his teammates and all that. But the Colts have looked remarkably well, which it is currently 14-7 into the first quarter, and the Colts are knocking on the doorstep with, I believe, first and goal or second and goal. So
Yeah, and Phil's got 121 in a TUD
Yeah.
in the first
I
quarter.
mean, the dude's slinging it. Alec Pierce is a weapon right now for him. So I'm expecting this line to get a little bit closer to Nick. I'm expecting this line probably getting closer to like 4.5 or 5.5 for the Jags in the next couple of weeks or the next couple of days. But I think the value is just too good, especially at home with the Jags coming off of a. They should be right. They should be feeling themselves right about now, and I've almost caved and went Jags with you guys, which is going to be really ironic if I get beat. But give me the Colts here. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, so there is one piece of information that almost made me flip here to the Colts, and I think it's that every team following their game in Denver has lost the next week. So if you had to go play Denver in Denver, no team in the NFL that has currently played a game in Denver won the following week. However, I don't think the Colts are winning tonight. And if the Colts don't win tonight, are they eliminated?
Probably.
So if the Colts have nothing to play for besides a Phil Rivers farewell tour, dare we see Anthony Richardson next week to see what he's got, to know if what they're going to do in the offseason?
Nah.
And if we're seeing Anthony Richardson, does anybody like the Colts?
A big if. No, if Anthony Richardson.
That's a big if?
I want to make a caveat. If Anthony Richardson's playing, I want to all bet the Colts spread.
I see, but this is the tough thing is like
if
we're throwing asterisks here, then I feel like you got to take some risk. And that risk is Anthony Richardson could be the Colts starting quarterback next week.
Well, we're gonna see. I'll keep you posted because we probably will be talking well until the end of this game.
So
at this point, yeah.
Also, DeForest Buckner for DeForest Buckner for the Colts is activated now off of the IR. So Colts get a big defensive lineman piece back.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll take the Jags on the road. Jags are still hunting for the 1 seed possibly in the AFC. They need the win. Jags have seemed like always had the Colts number. I'll be jagging off, and I'm gonna love every second of it.
Philip Rivers' short arm mechanics shouldn't work, but it has worked. Doesn't look great. It looks ugly.
Yeah, the Jags have looked better than I thought they were going to this year. Trevor Lawrence is, is he the truth? Is he the truth? Is he
Let me make it easy for you.
Generational quarterback that everybody said that he was going to be? I believe so. So I think Trevor Lawrence is a baller. Oh, touchdown, Pierce. I just don't see a world where Phil's going to be able to keep up with him. If he's going to be able to keep up this production. The Colts defense is solid, but I don't know. Everything about the Jags is saying, to me, it's pointing towards beating the fuck out of the Colts. Not the fuck, but they're going to win by at least 2 possessions, in my humble opinion. So give me Jacksonville. I can't believe Sean's not jacking off.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to a fun AFC East matchup. The Patriots, fresh off that comeback win on Sunday Night Football, heading to New York to take on the Jets. Patriots are road 13.5-point favorites, almost 2 full touchdowns. Who do you like in this one, Sean?
This is the toughest pick probably for the week. And I don't really love either of them personally. Like two touchdowns, 13.5 in the NFL. It's a tough. Fortunately, the Jets do exist as an NFL franchise. And they are going to be trotting out, as confirmed by Aaron Glenn this week, they're going to be trotting out Brady Cook. Now, Brady Cook he was, as Nick would say, check down merchant last week, completing against the New Orleans Saints, who ain't that good. He completed 22 of 35 passes for 185 yards, averaging 5.4 yards per throw.
Ew.
Not only that, he had, actually, I'm just seeing this one. Holy fuck. He had a QBR of 3.2.
Ew.
And the dude, it's either, I didn't watch a second of this game because I'm sick of watching the Saints and I fucking refuse to watch the Jets. He was sacked 8 times. So that tells me he's probably holding on to the ball too long. And I think the Patriots pass rush probably going to get to him. Maybe knock a ball out. Maybe knock a couple of them out. And I think Drake May is still on a MVP campaign. He's going to be trying to prove something. He's going to be trying to, again, run the score up on the division rival. Give me the Patriots here.
Yeah, so Sean, I just want you to know that you made me flip based off of all that Brady Cook talk. I had the Jets put down. Divisional matchup, 13.5 points is the highest spread this week. With that Brady Cook talk, I guess I didn't realize it was that bad.
Neither did I. That's what solidified it for me. The dude ain't good.
Yeah.
I should lock that shit up. It's fucking terrible.
Patriots minus 13.5. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Come here, folks. I persuade.
I locked the Patriots immediately. I don't see how the Patriots don't come out with this win. Obviously, we talked about Brady Cook, and I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Drake May, so get me the Pats.
All right. Well, next one, big matchup down in Florida. The Buccaneers, season on life support, heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and half their team might be in Cancun already. Quinn Ewers, I believe, is still going to be starting for the Fins. Baker and the Bucks are 5.5-point road favorites here. Sean, I mean, I've been saying it all pod. Buccaneers are 0-3-1 their last 4 against the spread at least, because I know that's how they've burned me. Who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, preferably neither. But Tampa Bay needs it, and the Bucks, with them starting Ewers and looking like they're not going to start anybody else but Ewers, he didn't look great. If they're able to bottle up Achan, I think that they win this game by multiple scores. So give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this one, I did have Miami written down when I first went through all the games. However, I've been riding this sinking ship that is the Buccaneers for so long at this point. A captain must go down with the ship. I'm going to take the Buccaneers minus 5.5. Call me Admiral Nelson. Right, call me Admiral Nelson, but I must go down with the ship. So I'll take the Bucks minus 5.5.
I so fucking respect that. I don't know. This game's so fucking tough. It's so tough because the Bucks have just been more than disappointing this year. But it's Miami. It's just, I don't know. Quinn Ewers just isn't that good, in my humble opinion. Give me Tampa Bay.
Flip.
I'm not gonna flip.
Do it.
I'm not gonna flip. But like,
look up his Texas highlights right now.
fuck
and tell me
you.
you don't want that.
No,
You
I'm
don't want
not.
that on
No,
your team.
No. I remember looking up his shit at draft time because people were talking about him, and nah. Bro can't read a defense.
It's like, nah, not better than Love. I don't need him.
There's not many quarterbacks in the league that are better than Love. Let's be honest.
It is true.
All right. Well, staying down in, I guess, kind of the South. Maybe not. I don't know fucking geography at this point. I'm a sailor. The Saints heading to Tennessee. Talk about a toilet bowl. Well, we got back-to-back toilet bowls, I guess. But Saints heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans with that big win against the Chiefs. Saints coming off a big win against the Jets. I guess somebody's going to have to lose this game. Saints are favored by 2.5 on the road. Sean, you like Cam Ward after his big performance in Week 16?
No, actually, I love the opposite. I love a huge letdown spot. Like you already alluded to, Brogan, this is going to be a toilet bowl stinker if I've ever seen one. Tennessee did do the dumb thing and win last week. I know it great for locker room, whatever. Long term hurts the overall draft capital and hurts your team. Saints have just said fuck that. We got Shuck. We're gonna fuck you up. So we found our dude. Yes, and yeah, if they were able to sack, who the fuck was that? Brady. Not
Cook.
Brady. Yeah, they were able to sack Brady Cook 8 times last week. Imagine what they're going to do with Cam Ward that holds onto the ball too long. It's going to be a not a travesty, but it's going to be a rough time. Maybe jolt that ball loose a couple times. Maybe cause a fumble or two. Maybe look for a Saints defensive touchdown. That'd be fun. I might have to put that one on. So, give me the Saints here.
Yeah, this is another one that I initially put Tennessee down, but then I had to take a step back with the Admiral Nelson flowing through my veins and think about it. Anybody could have beat the Chiefs last week, especially with Gardner Minshew getting injured. I mean, I don't even know who the fuck the Chiefs' third string is.
Can't pronounce his name.
Right. Shout out to Cam Ward for finally having a good NFL game. But man, the Saints just look like they're figuring it out. Sean, I think you alluded to this earlier. Like, nobody expected the Saints to be any type of good this year. And I'm not saying they're any type of good, but they look like they're a team that's getting better every single week. And Tyler Shuck looks like a baller. So I'm not going to have my season rest on Cam Ward and the Titans. Give me Tyler Shuck and the Saints, -2.5.
Yeah, I've been touting Shuck ever since he came in and started doing well. I would argue Shuck is better than Crying Caleb at this point in his career. Give me the Saints.
He beat Rattler out.
Yep, since he showed that he was better than Rattler, all right. And if you're better than Rattler, you have to be a pretty good quarterback in the league. Because honestly, I would probably take Spencer Rattler over Crying Caleb too. So the Saints have 2 quarterbacks that are already better than Crying. All right, whatever. I'm done with that stick. Yeah, give me New Orleans. Yeah, Shuck's looking great. Cam Ward, he holds on to the ball a lot, and these guys already went over everything, right? Like, anybody could have beat the Chiefs last week. The Chiefs are super vulnerable, and I doubt they even want to fucking win right now because it doesn't matter for them. You know, they want better draft capital, so I could see Andy Reid going like, well, guys, we tried our best. Go out there and play as best as you can, but I'm going to put us in really fucking stupid situations. You know, so good luck to those guys. But Shuck's been way too good ever since. Like, I don't know what his numbers are at this moment, but they're very fucking solid. So give me New Orleans and Shuck.
Yeah, well, moving on to the ultimate toilet bowl. This one is for the first overall pick, most likely. The Giants heading out west to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Raiders are home 1.5-point favorites in this matchup. Loser most likely gets the first overall pick in the upcoming draft. Sean, who's going to be the winner of the losers?
No, I haven't had to handicap one of these games ever. And I fucking hate being in this situation, mostly because also it is the Giants, and it's my pseudo NFC team. But like, it just really depends where the morale is for the team. I think the Giants have had zero morale for a while. They do not respect whoever the head coach is at the moment. And ideally, Gruden comes and resurrects this broken franchise. But probably not going to happen.
Isn't
The
Gruden
Raiders-
suing the league right now?
No, that
No,
was
it got
a while
settled.
ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
It got settled. Gruden got a shit ton of money for it, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, Gruden's chilling with Barstool. But yeah, I could see the Giants. The Giants should be able to cover this game. They should be able to win it. And very Giant-esque thing to do where you could have the number one pick. You don't get the number one pick because you beat the Raiders this week. I think the Raiders are going to end up with the number one pick. And it's not because they did anything good, but the Giants just outperformed them when they didn't need to be. Like I'm hoping GT can get his stuff going, get flowing and everything, but I think the Giants win this game, and they don't need to. They shouldn't.
yeah, I've been trying to ride the Giants the last few weeks. I guess last week I did take Minnesota, but the week before that I locked the Giants against the Commanders and they let me down.
Obviously.
So because of that, I am gonna pick the Giants here to win this game. Giants plus 1.5, so that way they don't get the first overall pick. The Raiders are gonna get the first overall pick. Hopefully get rid of that corpse of Pete Carroll. It's time for him to go to a nursing home or something, chew gum in there. But I want to see
Talk
the
about
Raiders
Raiders.
be a good team. So I want the Raiders to lose this game. So I'm going to take the Giants plus 1.5.
Hey, give Mendoza, have a fun time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to be going with Las Vegas here just because I saw a lot of good things out of their offense. And I think they might be able to keep that going. If Ginty can do what he did last week, then against who the fuck did they play last week? I'm stroking out. Houston.
The Texans.
Yeah, if he
Yeah,
can do that
Texas
against
is a
Houston,
very good Texas defense.
there's no way he can't do that against a fucking horrible Giants team. So, give me Ginty and the boys.
All right. Well, let's move on to one of the best games of the week, in my personal opinion, my humble opinion. The Eagles heading to Buffalo to take on the Beals. Josh Allen and the Beals are 2.5-point home favorites against the Birds. Sean, who do you like in this battle of playoff teams?
I feel like wasn't there a study done, or not a study, but like stats wise, like after a team clinches the division, that they either drop or like don't cover the following week, and I'm basically just going off of that. Eagles dumped the Gatorade last week. They got their hat, they got their T-shirt, and like you always say, Brogan, it's hard to win in Buffalo, and that's what I'm gonna go with. So give me the Bills.
Yeah, I think I've said this a few times on the pod this year so far, but death, taxes, and Josh Allen in Buffalo. I mean, the Beals just play different in Buffalo. Josh Allen plays different in Buffalo. Josh Allen played terrible, and the Bills still pulled it out against the Browns last week. Now, obviously, that's the Browns. That's not the Eagles. But Josh Allen typically becomes superhuman in Buffalo. So, yeah, I'll take the Buffalo Bills minus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Bills. Josh Allen had some weird games here and there, but I'm sure he's going to be able to pull this shit together for this game. So give me the Bills. He's going to go out there and really show people, be like, okay, guys, I may have had a weird season this season, but we're going to still we're going to show them why in the playoffs we can win. So he's going to instill some confidence in his team and in the fans. So give me Buffalo.
All right, and then now we're on to the Sunday night matchup for Week 17. The Bears with the chance to clinch the NFC North, heading out west to take on the Niners. Niners are currently home 3-point favorites. Obviously, this line could change slightly depending on the Niners' outcome of the Monday night game. But as of right now, it is San Francisco -3 at home. Sean, who do you like in this one?
I'm taking the Bears just because I don't have a lot of dogs on my card, and I just got to change things up. It's not necessarily that I believe the Bears are doing anything right or good, but but I don't have a lot of dogs, so give me the Bears.
Yeah, for me, I think the Bears almost need this one. Sure, they have the Lions at home in Week 18. At least I believe that game's in Chicago. I'm not 100% sure. But if you're the Bears, you don't want that pressure. They're coming off that high of that win last week at home. I don't know. I'm buying into the magic of the Bears just consistently find ways to win games. It's not ugly, or it's not pretty. It's ugly, but they just win. So I'm not going to keep betting against them. I guess I didn't bet against them last week. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. I'm going to take the Bears +3 on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. Just watching the Bears play, it does not instill any confidence in me. Obviously, I'm the number one Bears hater around. But, like, legitimately, like, watching them play, watching them beat the Packers, the entire time I was like, dude, there's no way you, like, against any other team, you would have lost this game. If it wasn't the Packers, you would have lost. Don't ask me why the Packers have some sort of fucking voodoo where they, like, fuck up stupid games like that 24/7. But they do, okay? Some angry Bears fan went
Touchdown
down.
Niners.
To whom?
George Kittle.
Fuck! That's not who I need! Alright. Yeah, so, like, I believe San Fran is a better team than that to allow those stupid fucking mistakes to happen when I'm pretty sure the Packers at one point had a 99% chance to win the game and they somehow found that 1% chance to lose. I don't believe San Fran's going to be put in that same spot. The Bears' offense looks very mundane and very too reliant on the run all of the time because I truly don't believe Caleb Williams can like win a game if he has to pass the entire game, especially against a good defense. And San Fran has a very solid defense, so give me the Niners here. I'll be zagging, baby.
Asking for a friend who's not watching the game. Is Juwan Jennings even in the fucking building?
Dude, Juwan, I need Juwan
He
Jennings
has
too.
0 targets.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
No.
Trust me, I know.
0 for 1 on receptions. I'm looking at this battle right now.
Yeah, no. Vince is going to overtake me before halftime.
50-50. 50-50 chance win probability. This is
It's 100% Vince and 0% me because fucking McCaffrey and Purdy are just in a shootout against fucking Phillip Rivers. All right,
crazy.
Fuck fantasy football. If you lost in the semifinals, have some Admiral Nelson with me. The Rams heading to Atlanta on Monday night. Atlanta on that 3-game win streak, I believe. The Rams suffering that heartbreaking loss in Seattle on Thursday night last week. They had a mini bye, especially playing on a Monday night. The Rams are road 7.5-point favorites. Sean, why are you taking the Rams in this game?
Yeah, I think the Falcons' run stops here, and the Rams are going to be a team that puts a stop to it. I think that defense isn't the Cardinals' defense, and going to make things really uncomfortable for Kirk Cousins. That defensive line is just going to make that statue back there just not have a great time, collapse the pocket, get a sack, maybe 2. And, yeah, I mean, I hope Bijan does good. I fucking love watching Bijan do random shit. And probably look for Kyle Pitts, a lot of quick dump-offs, but I think the Rams just boat race him here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Rams. Rams need to win out to have a chance at that division title. So, and Matt Stafford, MVP season. I'll take that over washed-up Kirk Cousins. So, Rams -7.5 on the road.
I cannot add anything constructive to this conversation, so I will just say Rams.
Awesome.
Rams,
Well,
baby.
there's the spreads for Week 17. Why don't we move on to everybody's favorite segment of the pod, the dogs. We didn't have any dogs hit last week. Kennesaw State let Sean down. Jordan Love, 3+ passing touchdowns. I mean, that's not Nick's fault. That's an injury there, and I didn't have a
That was some
dog last
bullshit.
week.
Jordan Love would have hit it too.
Spoiler alert,
Easier.
I don't have a dog this week either. Recording on a Monday, it's kind of hard to find lines that I like for this next week, so I don't have anything. Do you guys have dogs?
No, I got a couple dogs.
I have
I
one
got
dog.
a couple dogs. Oh, let's see here. Not long picks. There we go. We're gonna go New Orleans Saints defense / special teams touchdown. Just fucking why not? I'm gonna just throw a couple bucks on that one. Hope that hits. That's for funsies. What else there? Oh, Hawaii money line. I saw it was like +1 something. Not great, but they'll still get there. Hawaii. If you got nothing to do Christmas Eve, the only sport that is on is going to be college football, and it is going to be the Hawaii Bowl, Cal versus Hawaii. So, fuck. So now I'm going to do Hawaii spread. We're going to go Hawaii spread of +4.5, I guess, or -4.5, or what is that even? +136. Not great, but you're not gonna go broke making a profit here. And then the last one that I got gonna be some more holiday magic. We got the NBA slate. I didn't do it earlier. There we go. It's gonna be the LA Lakers going against the Houston Rockets. LA Lakers money line +164. Imagine that defensive anytime touchdown by the Saints. Probably going to be anywhere from like 4 to 8. Somewhere in there. So hopefully that hits. Good luck to you.
All right. Mine is going to be the Detroit anytime defense / special teams anytime touchdown, which is right now +475. Yeah, I don't know. Detroit's going to go out there for blood. All right, their defense is going to be ramped up and ready to go, trying to make something happen. And everybody knows Minnesota's quarterbacks are going to give up a couple of balls. So let's just hope one of them goes back to the crib.
All right, well, let's move on to our locks of the week. Last week, again, I went 1-5. Sean went 3-3. Nick went 4-2. Somehow, overall, I'm still positive at 48, 46-2. Sean's 45-51, and Nick's 43-50.
Clawing back, baby.
So how about we hit some fucking locks this week? Nick, since you crushed it going 4-2 last week, why don't you lead us off with your locks?
Unfortunately, if I knew Jordan Love was going to play, I would say Jordan Love 2+ passing touchdowns, but I'm not for sure. So I'm going to have to forego on that one for now. Give me Detroit's spread. Already talked about it. Love that spread for that game. I think it's a very, very solid spread to hit. And give me a St. Brown anytime touchdown. Give me the Sun Gods anytime. I just really feel like St. Brown is going to step up and really, fucking slap some nuts on people's faces. Okay? Detroit's going to be looking to score a lot, and they will be scoring a lot. For the next one, I want to do RJ Harvey over on his rushing yards. So right now, I think his line for +50 rushing yards, it's -145. I love that. They're going to be ahead the entire game. They're going to be looking to burn clock, all this other stuff. And I don't see any world where RJ Harvey's not able to keep up this line. They're going to be running the ball a lot. They're going to be up. So I don't see in any world. Okay. The next one I am a really big fan of is the Steelers-Browns one. I really love that spread. Don't ask me why. I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to do Aaron Rodgers things and going to, fucking clutch up and get a win and continue to show people why he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Even though he doesn't have DK this week, I know DK is a very, very talented wide receiver, but I don't think DK swings the needle that hard. Personally, he's not somebody like a JSN or like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, where like they swing the needle. Like if those guys are out, they swing the needle. DK Metcalf, as good as he is, he doesn't have that much swing. So, give me Pittsburgh spread. Okay. Now this one, fuck, I can't. They don't have the lines out for the Patriots one. Fuck, I wanted Patriots rushing props. That's ass. Okay.
Welcome to Monday.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, somebody else take it. I need to find a fifth one.
Okay. Well, I can go. So, I get a couple of them here. We're going to be bouncing around all over the place. The first one that we're going to do is going to be the Louisville. This is going to be a parlay now. So, it's going to be Louisville and UNLV money line. At this, you can get this one at minus 110. It's college bowl season, baby. So, might as well rake that in while you still get a chance. This is more my lack of respect of the MAC. Louisville is going against Toledo in the Boca Raton Bowl, and UNLV is going against Ohio in the Frisco Bowl. So, again, just more of my, I just don't respect the MAC this year. MAC doesn't beat anybody besides themselves. So, we're gonna ride with that one. Next one is gonna be Detroit minus 6. Again, I think that Detroit's the hungrier team. They're going to need this one done. And I can't quite co-sign it yet, but Nick's defensive anytime touchdown or anything where they make 9 really uncomfortable.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
So the next one here, Packers Ravens under 40.5, and I do have it here. Possible alt of maybe 41, 42.5. This is just, I think it's going to be a grinded out game from the running aspect of it. I'll update it when the lines become a little bit more available and you're able to manipulate it a little bit easier. But I can't imagine that you're going to get a minus 150 number, anything over 142. So I think 141, maybe 142 is probably the cutoff there. But if Jackson or Love is cleared, look for that number to shoot up and then possibly alt that. I still think it's going to be just a run bonanza. And that brings me to my next point of Derrick Henry over rushing yards. Again, it is Monday, so we don't quite have the rushing yards yet, but I would imagine that's anywhere from like high 80s to 90s. And the Packers defense can't stop a nosebleed, let alone a rushing attack. Like we saw what they did with the Bears last week. The Bears were able to get 5-6 yards a pop. It's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be competitive. So give me Derrick Henry over rushing yards on that. That being said, Pack, I think it's going to get it done, ideally. The next one, possibly the last one of the year in terms of teasers. We have a 13-point team teaser. At the end of the day, we got 4 teams that'll bring the grand total to minus 140. We have Denver plus half a point. If they tie or win, great. Who are they playing? The Chiefs with a no-name quarterback. So look for that one to hit. Next one's going to be Bengals plus 6. They're playing the Cardinals. Are they playing them in Arizona, in Scottsdale? No. They're playing, the Cardinals got to come cross-country to Cincinnati. That's going to suck. Cardinals are going to be crying in the chili. Ain't going to happen. The next one is going to be the Pats minus a half point. So all they got to do is win the measly game against the Jets and Brady Cook. Brady Cook's family would, if they were listening to this, they wouldn't appreciate all the slander that we've given them. So I won't spend any time on that. And then the last one is going to be the Rams going cross country to is it Atlanta? Who are they playing again?
Yep.
Yeah. Cross country to Atlanta. And they can lose. They can lose by 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. Hell, they can even lose by 4 points. But I got them at plus 4.5. That one is, again, all those things line up. You're looking at a minus 140 for the 13-point monster teaser. Those are my 5 locks of the week.
The last one, just so that I can just wrap up my portion, I'm gonna go with the Chargers Houston under on the point total. I just feel like it's gonna be a fucking dog game. Like there's not gonna be a lot of points on the board. It's gonna be a fucking slugfest. So that's my 5 picks of the week.
All right. Well, then for my locks, I'm gonna go to NBA on Christmas Day because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't tail this one. I have no idea why, but New York Knicks plus Oklahoma City Thunder moneyline parlay. That'll get you started on Christmas Day. Also on Christmas Day, god damn, I was fucking hammered already when I wrote this one. Jack Ferguson, that's not right. Jake Ferguson, 40 plus receiving yards for the Cowboys. He's hit this, I think, in like 4 out of his last 5 or 5 out of his last 6. First time he played the Commanders, he did not hit this, but he did have 7 targets, I think. So, anyways, I like Ferguson to get 40 yards. The next one, I'll go at Chargers minus 2.5. And then I got a 3-team 7-point teaser, similar to Sean, but I don't need 13 points. I only need 7. So we'll take Denver minus 5. Oh, excuse me. That's the Admiral fighting back. Denver minus 5.5. New England minus 6.5. And the Rams minus half a point on Monday night. That comes out to plus 120. And my last lock is Buffalo, Philadelphia, first half under 21.5. Now, why? I believe I heard something in the Beals-Browns broadcast this last week that Buffalo has like some of the lowest first half totals because in a lot of their games this year they've been coming back in the third and fourth quarter to win them. And also doing a little look ahead at the weather, which is kind of hard to predict, especially in Buffalo. It does look like it is going to be rainy in the morning with a lot of wind. Looks like around like 20 mile an hour wind, gusts in the 30s. Long story short, I like the Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles first half under 21.5. So then moving on to the parlay of the week. I totally fucked this up, but we're going to keep it in there anyways. Because everybody likes Detroit minus 6. I had that in my locks, and then I kind of took it out. We're going to throw it in the parlay of the week. I'm going to have like a 7th leg there. But for my parlay of the week, I will take the Beals minus 2.5. Actually, fuck that. Yeah, never mind. We'll stick with, I don't know. I'm just going to be quiet. Bills minus 2.5.
For my leg of the parlay of the week, I'm going to go double down on RJ Harvey over 50 rushing yards against the Chiefs this week. It's going to hit, baby.
Big balls on you doubling down on something that's barely under minus 150.
I'm going, I want a stake in this second toilet bowl. I want New Orleans minus 2.5 against Tennessee Titans. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, I totally kind of fucked up. I had Detroit minus 6 in my locks, and then you guys both picked it, so then I moved it out of my locks and into the parlay of the week. But anyways, we will throw Detroit minus 6 into this thing to sweeten it up since we haven't hit one in forever. So parlay of the week, Detroit spread minus 6, Buffalo spread minus 2.5, Saints spread minus 2.5, and RJ Harvey 50+ rushing yards. That will give you plus 1051 or 10.5 to 1.
I love that.
That's gonna cash.
I love that.
No doubt about it. In my mind.
If there's anything about this podcast, we hit our parlay of the week.
Right.
Every once in a while. Once in a blue moon.
Right. And I feel the blue moon coming. Whether it's the beer or the parlay hitting. All right, boys. Anything else for week 17?
Oh, I think we capped her off pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
Nope. No, I got nothing.
Well, that's the card. If you're riding with any of these picks, make sure you hit the follow on Spotify and save this episode so you've got it when kickoff hits. And if one of these hits, send this episode to a friend who said it wouldn't. We'll be back next week. Bets now, regrets later.
Ooh.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Clean.
Merry Christmas.
Ooh.